The hospital room was
Happy
very
birthday.
quiet.
One more bite?
Too quiet. Only the
This is
slow
ridiculous.
sound of machines could be heard. A small girl was lying on the bed. She looked weak. Her skin was pale. Her eyes were closed. She was the daughter of a very rich man. A millionaire known by everyone. A man who could buy anything in the world. But today, money meant nothing. The doctor stood near the bed. His face was serious. He took a deep breath before speaking. He said the words slowly. She has only 7 days left. The girl's mother felt the ground disappear under her feet. Her legs became weak. Her heart started beating fast. She could not breathe properly. 7 days? She whispered. The doctor nodded. We have tried everything. There is nothing more we can do. The mother started crying. Not soft tears. Loud, painful cries. The kind of cry that comes when hope is gone. The father stood near the window. He did not speak. He did not cry. His hands were shaking. His face was frozen. This man had always been powerful. He controlled companies. He controlled people. He controlled money. But he could not control death. The little girl moved slightly. Her breathing became heavy. The machines started beeping faster. The mother rushed to her side. Please, she said softly. Please don't leave me. Outside the room, the hospital staff stood silently. Nurses, doctors, and one man standing at the back. He was a black employee from the family's house. He worked quietly, cleaned, served, helped, never spoke too much. Most people did not even notice him. But today, he noticed everything. He heard the doctor's words. He heard 7 days. His eyes widened. His face changed. A memory hit him like lightning. His hands slowly tightened into fists. This can't be a coincidence, he thought. 7 days. The same words he had heard years ago. Back then, it was his little sister. She was also given 7 days. Doctors had given up on her too. Everyone thought she would die, but she didn't, because of something very few people knew. The black employee felt his heart beat faster. Fear and hope mixed inside him. He looked at the crying mother through the glass. He looked at the weak child. She is still alive, he whispered to himself. There is still time. But then fear stopped him. Who will listen to me? He thought. I'm just a worker. Inside the room, the doctor continued speaking. We suggest taking her home. Make her comfortable. Those words hit the mother like a knife. Take her home to die. The mother screamed. No, do something. I will pay anything. The doctor looked down. This is not about money. The father turned around slowly. For the first time, his voice broke. So that's it. The doctor did not answer. Outside, the black employee felt something rise inside him. He had stayed silent his whole life. But not today. Not when a child was dying. He took one step forward, then stopped. What if they laugh, he thought. What if they throw me out? The machines inside beeped louder. The girl's hand moved weakly. Time was running out. The black employee closed his eyes. He remembered his sister's smile. He remembered the treatment. He remembered the miracle. He opened his eyes again. This time, there was no fear. He walked toward the door. Just as the doctor turned to leave, a quiet voice spoke from behind. Excuse me. Everyone turned. The mother looked at him with red eyes. The father stared at him, confused. The doctor looked surprised. I may know a way, the black employee said slowly. The room went silent. The father's face hardened. What did you say? The black employee swallowed. I said, I may know a way to save her. The doctor frowned. This is serious, he warned. The father's anger started rising. Do you know who you're talking to? The black employee looked at the little girl, then at her mother. She has only 7 days, he said quietly. I know something that saved a life before. The mother stopped crying. Her eyes locked onto him. Hope, small, weak, but alive. Tell me, she whispered. The father opened his mouth to shout, but the mother raised her hand. And in that moment, everything changed, because the next 7 days would decide life or death. And no one knew what this black employee was about to do. Would leave the mother in tears. The millionaire's house was bigger than most people's dreams. Tall gates, white walls, security everywhere. But that night, the house felt empty. Very empty. The mother sat alone in her daughter's room. The lights were dim. The child was sleeping, but her breathing was slow and weak. Every breath felt like a question. Will she wake up tomorrow? The mother gently touched her daughter's hair. Her hands were shaking. She remembered the day her daughter was born. Healthy, smiling, full of life. Doctors had said she was perfect. Now the same doctors were saying goodbye. Tears rolled down the mother's face again. She tried to stay strong, but her heart was breaking piece by piece. Across the room, toys were lying on the floor. Dolls, books, little shoes, all untouched. The father stood outside on the balcony. The city lights were shining, but he could not see them. His phone was in his hand, but he was not making calls. For years, when problems came, he called someone, and problems disappeared. But today, there was no number to call. He had spoken to the best doctors in the country, even doctors from other countries. Private planes, special machines, rare medicines. Nothing worked. For the first time in his life, being rich felt useless. Inside the house, servants moved quietly. No one laughed. No one spoke loudly. Everyone knew something terrible was happening. The black employee walked slowly through the hallway. He had worked for this family for many years. He knew the house better than anyone. But tonight, every step felt heavy. He stopped near the girl's room and looked inside. The child was sleeping peacefully, like she did not know her time was short. His chest tightened. She is too young, he thought. He remembered how she used to greet him every morning. Good morning, uncle, she would say with a smile. She was never rude, never proud, different from many rich kids. She always asked him questions. About his life, about his childhood. She listened. That was why this hurt so much. The black employee walked away slowly. In the kitchen, he sat down alone. His hands rested on the table. His mind was full of memories. His own childhood was not easy. He grew up poor, very poor. No big houses, no doctors on speed dial. When his sister got sick, they had no money. Hospitals turned them away. Doctors said the same thing. There is no hope. 7 days. But an old man in their village had helped them. Not with machines, not with money, with knowledge. Knowledge passed quietly from generation to generation. The black employee closed his eyes. That saved my sister, he thought. But this world believes only in money. In a living room, the parents sat together for the first time that day. The mother's eyes were swollen from crying. The father looked tired. Older. She is getting weaker, the mother said softly. I know, the father replied. What if the mother stopped? What if what, he asked. What if someone else knows something? Something different? The father sighed. We have tried everything. The mother stayed quiet. Her mind went back to the hospital, to the man standing quietly at the back. The black employee. His voice was calm, not desperate, not proud, just honest. He didn't sound like he was lying, she thought. But then fear returned. What if he is wrong? What if we lose her faster? The mother felt torn apart. Hope was dangerous, but no hope was worse. The father stood up. I will not let false hope hurt her, he said firmly. She deserves peace. At that moment, a soft cough came from a bedroom. Both parents rushed inside. The girl opened her eyes slowly. Mom, she whispered. The mother grabbed her hand. I'm here, baby. Am I going to sleep for a long time? The girl asked. The mother's heart shattered. No, she said, forcing a smile. You will be fine. The girl smiled weakly. I'm not scared, she said. Those words broke the father. He turned away, hiding his tears. Outside the room, the black employee heard everything. Every word. He leaned against the wall. I can't stay silent, he told himself. Not anymore. He knew tomorrow would be important. Very important. Because soon, the 7 days would become 6. And when time starts disappearing, only the brave speak up. The black employee did not sleep that night. He lay on his bed, staring at the ceiling. The room was small and quiet. Outside, the big house stood silent, like it was holding its breath. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the little girl's face. Pale, weak, smiling. And then another face appeared. His sister. Years ago, she was lying on a bed, just like that. Weak, dying. Doctors had said the same words. 7 days. He slowly sat up and rubbed his face. I buried this memory, he whispered. But it came back for a reason. Back then, his family had no money. Hospitals refused to help. Neighbors said prayers, but everyone believed she would die. On the 6th night, an old man came to their house. He was quiet, simple, no fancy clothes. People laughed at him, but he carried something more powerful than money. Knowledge. The old man had studied the body in his own way. He knew things books did not teach. He gave him treatment. Simple, natural, dangerous if done wrong. Everyone thought it was useless. But by the seventh morning, his sister opened her eyes. Alive. The black employee's chest tightened. That treatment still exists, he thought. I never forgot it. He stood up and walked to the window. The moonlight fell on his face. I promised never to speak about it, he said to himself. The old man had warned him. People fear what they don't understand, and rich people hate what they cannot control. So he stayed silent for years. But now, a child was dying again. In a kitchen early that morning, the house staff gathered quietly. No yolks, no smiles. Everyone felt the heavy air. One worker whispered, "The girl won't last long." Another shook his head. So sad. All that money. The black employee clenched his fists. Money again. He walked away. Outside, the parents sat with doctors on video calls. Foreign doctors. Big names. All saying the same thing. "We are sorry." The mother ended the call and dropped the phone. Her hands were shaking. "How can they all be wrong?" she cried. The father looked tired. "Sometimes, life is cruel," he said. The black employee stood near the door. He had a choice. Stay silent and stay safe, or speak and lose everything. He thought of his job, his respect, his place in this house. Then he thought of the girl. "Uncle, tell me a story," she used to say. He closed his eyes. "I will speak," he decided. Later that day, the girl's condition became worse. The machines beeped louder. Doctors rushed in again. The mother screamed for help. The black employee watched from a corner. Time was slipping away. He stepped forward. His heart was beating fast. "I have something to say," he spoke. The room froze. The father turned slowly. "What is it now?" he asked, clearly angry. The doctor raised his hand. "This is not the time." But the black employee did not stop. "My sister had this illness," he said. The doctor laughed softly. "That is not possible." The father's eyes burned. "Are you saying you know more than doctors?" The black employee lowered his head. "No," he said. "I am saying I saw a miracle once." Silence filled the room. The mother looked at him closely. She saw fear in his eyes, but also truth. "What did you do?" she asked quietly. The black employee swallowed. "There was a treatment," he said. "Old, not modern." The doctor shook his head. "This is dangerous." The father took a step forward. "If you are lying," the black employee raised his hand. "I will leave," he said. "I will accept any punishment. But please listen first." The mother's heart raced. Hope was knocking again. Dangerous hope. She looked at her daughter, gasping for air. Then she looked back at the man, standing alone. "Tell me everything," she said. The father stared at her. "Are you serious?" She nodded slowly. "I am her mother." The black employee felt tears in his eyes. This was the moment. The secret he had hidden for years was now out. And once spoken, it could either save a life or destroy his own. Because when hope enters a dying room, nothing stays the same again. The room felt heavy after the black employee spoke. No one moved. No one spoke. The air itself felt tight. The father's face slowly turned red. His eyes were sharp, full of anger and disbelief. "Do you understand where you are standing?" he asked coldly. The black employee stayed quiet. His head was lowered, but his body did not shake. "I am standing where a child is dying," he replied softly. The doctor stepped forward. "This is not a movie," he said. "People die from false hope." The words hit like a slap. Other doctors nodded. The father laughed once. Not a happy laugh. A bitter one. "You think you can walk in here and talk about miracles?" he said. "You clean my house." Silence fell again. Those words hurt more than shouting. The black employee felt his chest tighten, but he did not respond. The mother looked between them. Her heart was breaking. Part of her wanted to scream at the employee. Another part wanted to hold on to him. Because the doctors had failed. Because nothing else was left. The father pointed at the door. "Leave," he ordered, "before you make things worse." Two security guards moved forward. The black employee took a small step back. "I understand," he said quietly. "But please, give me 1 minute." The guard stopped. The father turned toward his wife. "This is madness," he said. "Do not do this to yourself." The mother looked at the bed. The girl was barely breathing. Machines beeped fast like a countdown. Her heart whispered a painful truth. There was nothing to lose. "Let him speak," she said. Everyone froze. The father turned sharply. "Are you serious?" She nodded slowly. "If doctors have no answers, then I want to hear all answers." The doctor shook his head. "This is very risky." The mother's eyes filled with tears. "So is doing nothing," she replied. The black employee looked at her, surprised. For the first time, someone believed him. He took a deep breath. "This treatment is old," he began. "It is not written in books." The doctor interrupted. "Then it is not science." The black employee continued. "It helped my sister when doctors failed." The father slammed his fist on the table. "That means nothing." The guard stepped closer again. The black employee's voice trembled slightly. "I am not asking you to trust me," he said. "I am asking you to trust your child." That sentence cut deep. The room went silent. The father looked at his daughter. His anger slowly cracked, but pride held him back. The doctor leaned toward the mother. "If you allow this, you are taking full responsibility," he warned. The mother closed her eyes. Her hand was shaking. Inside her head, fear and hope fought each other. What if he is wrong? What if this kills her? But another thought screamed louder. What if he is right? She opened her eyes. "Do it," she said. The father's face went pale. "What?" "Prepare everything," she repeated. The doctor stepped back. "I will not be part of this." The father shouted. "Stop this now." The black employee raised his hand. "If you want, I will leave," he said. "But the treatment must continue." The father looked at him with rage. "If she dies." The black employee met his eyes. "Then blame me," he said. "Not hope." The guard grabbed his arms. The mother screamed. "Let him go." The girl suddenly coughed hard. Everyone rushed to the bed. Her breathing became weak. The machines beeped wildly. The mother fell to her knees. "My baby," she cried. The father froze. Time slowed. The black employee broke free from the guards. "Give her space," he shouted. The doctor hesitated, then stepped aside. The black employee moved to the bed. His hands were steady, his face calm. He whispered words only he knew. For the first time, the room listened to him. But deep inside, everyone knew this was not just a treatment. This was a gamble with life. And if it failed, there would be no forgiveness. The room felt smaller than before. Every second was loud. The sound of the machines felt like a timer, counting down a life. The little girl lay on the bed, breathing weakly. Her chest moved slowly, like it could stop at any moment. The mother stood near her, holding her hand tightly. Her fingers were cold. Her lips were shaking. The father stood a few steps back. His mind was full of fear, anger, and regret. What if this was a mistake? What if trusting a worker destroyed everything? The black employee stood near the bed. His hands were steady, but his heart was racing. "This must be done carefully," he said quietly. The doctor watched from a distance, his arms crossed. "This is madness," he muttered. The black employee asked for simple things. Warm water, clean cloth, natural medicine prepared exactly the way he remembered. Every step mattered. One small mistake could end everything. The father checked his watch. Only 5 days were left. 5 days to fight death. As the treatment began, the girl suddenly cried out in pain. Her body shook. The mother screamed, "Stop! You're hurting her!" The black employee did not move. "This pain is part of it," he said softly. The doctor stepped forward. "This is dangerous. Her body is too weak." The father shouted. "I said stop." The black employee turned slowly. "If we stop now," he said, "she will not survive the night." Those words hit like thunder. The room froze. The mother looked at her daughter's face. Tears rolled down her cheeks. She nodded. "Continue," she whispered. Minutes passed. Then something went wrong. The girl's breathing became faster. Too fast. The machines began to beep loudly. Red lights flashed. The doctor rushed forward. "She's crashing." The mother collapsed to the floor. The father felt his legs give up. This is it, he thought. The black employee closed his eyes. "Please," he whispered. Memories rushed back. His sister. The old man. The warning. "Do not panic when it gets worse," the old man had said. "That means the body is fighting." The black employee opened his eyes. "Wait," he said firmly. "Give her a moment." The doctor hesitated. This went against everything he knew. But the mother screamed. Do what he says. The seconds felt endless. Everyone watched the girl. Then slowly, very slowly, her breathing began to calm. The machines quieted. The red lights stopped flashing. Silence filled the room again. The mother covered her mouth. The father's heart pounded. The doctor stared at the screen. This should not be possible, he whispered. But the black employee did not smile. This is only the beginning, he said. The night was long. Very long. The girl slept deeply. Too deeply. No one slept. The mother stayed by the bed the whole night. The father sat in a chair, staring at the floor. The black employee stood like a guard, watching every breath. When morning came, the girl opened her eyes. Just for a moment. Mom, she whispered. The mother cried out in shock. I'm here. The girl smiled weakly. I feel tired. The black employee nodded. That is good, he said. The doctor checked her vitals again. They were better. Not normal, but better. Hope entered the room quietly, but fear followed it. Later that day, the girl's condition dropped again. Fever returned. Pain returned. The doctor shook his head. This is unstable, he said. The father lost control. This is torture, he shouted. How long will this go on? The black employee looked tired now, but his voice stayed calm. 3 days, he said. If she survives 3 days, she will live. The mother's eyes widened. 3 days. He nodded. The hardest days. The father laughed bitterly. You are asking us to gamble her life. The black employee met his eyes. Life is already gambling with her, he said. Night fell again. The girl cried in her sleep. The mother cried with her. Outside the room, the staff whispered. Some said it was a miracle. Some said it was cruel hope. The black employee stood alone in the hallway. If this fails, he thought, I will be blamed forever. But if it works, everything will change. Because when time becomes the enemy, only faith, courage, and patience decide the winner. And the next 48 hours would decide everything. The third day felt longer than the last two. No one in the house spoke much. Every sound felt dangerous. Every minute felt like it could break something. The little girl lay on the bed, very still. Her eyes were closed. Her face looked calm, but her body was tired from the fight. The mother had not slept. Her eyes were red. Her hands were shaking. She held her daughter's hand, like she was afraid it might disappear. The father stood near the window. He had not checked his phone in hours. No calls. No meetings. For the first time in his life, business did not matter. Only one heartbeat mattered. The black employee stood quietly at the side. He looked tired, but his eyes were focused. This is the turning point, he whispered to himself. Doctors checked the machines again. Still weak. Still unstable. One doctor shook his head. She should not still be alive, he said softly. Those words cut deep. The mother looked up sharply. What did you say? The doctor hesitated. I meant, her body is doing something unusual. The black employee stepped closer. She is fighting, he said. The father let out a tired breath. We have heard that before, he said. Then it happened. The girl moved. Just a little. Her fingers twitched. The mother froze. Did you see that? She asked. Everyone rushed closer. The girl slowly opened her eyes. The room stopped breathing. Mom, she whispered. The mother screamed and cried at the same time. My baby. She hugged her gently, afraid to hurt her. The father covered his mouth. His eyes filled with tears. Doctors rushed to the machines. The numbers were changing. Slowly. Steadily. Better. This can't be right, one doctor said. They ran tests again. And again. Minutes passed like hours. Finally, one doctor spoke. The infection, it's reducing. Silence fell. The mother dropped to her knees. Tears streamed down her face. She laughed and cried together. The father's legs gave up. He sat down heavily. She's coming back, he whispered. The black employee closed his eyes. A tear rolled down his face. He remembered his sister. Alive. Smiling. Thank you, he whispered. But the miracle was not finished. That evening, the girl suddenly cried out in pain. The machines beeped again. Fear returned like a storm. The mother screamed. No, not again. Doctors rushed back in. The black employee raised his hand. Wait, he said calmly. This is the last wave. The father looked at him with fear. Are you sure? The black employee nodded. This is the body pushing out the sickness. The doctor hesitated, then slowly stepped back. The girl cried, then went quiet. Too quiet. The mother stopped breathing. The father stood frozen. Seconds passed. Then, the girl took a deep breath. Strong. Clear. The machine settled. The number showed normal. Normal. The doctor stared at the screen. This is impossible, he whispered. He turned to the black employee. What did you do? The black employee shook his head. I did not do this, he said. Her body did. Morning came. Sunlight filled the room. The girl was awake. She was sitting up, eating slowly, smiling. I'm hungry, she said. The mother burst into tears again. Doctors confirmed it. The disease was gone. Not hiding. Gone. The mother hugged the black employee tightly. You saved my child, she cried. The father stood in front of him. The room was silent. Then the father bowed his head. Thank you, he said. The black employee looked shocked. No one had ever thanked him like that. The doctors stood quietly, their pride shaken, their beliefs challenged. That day something changed. Not just the girl's life, but every heart in that room. Because a miracle had happened. And it came from a most unexpected place. The house did not feel the same anymore. It felt warmer, brighter, alive. The little girl walked slowly through the hallway, holding her mother's hand. She was still weak, but her steps were real. Every step felt like a victory. The mother watched her closely, afraid to blink. Each breath her daughter took felt like a miracle. Doctors continued visiting every day. Tests were done again and again. The results never changed. She was healed, fully healed. The father stood quietly as the doctor spoke. For the first time, he listened more than he talked. This case will change medicine, one doctor said. But the father did not smile. His eyes followed his daughter. Money, fame, power. None of it mattered now. One afternoon, the father called everyone into the living room. Doctors, staff, security, house workers. The black employee stood at the back as always. He expected nothing. The father stepped forward. His voice was calm, but strong. There was a time, he said, when I believed money was everything. The room stayed silent. I believed power could solve all problems. He paused and looked at his daughter. I was wrong. He turned toward the black employee. This time, he did not look down on him. He looked at him with respect. This man saved my child. A soft shock passed through the room. The black employee lowered his head. I did not save her, he said quietly. I only shared what I knew. The father walked closer. You shared hope, he replied. The mother could not hold her tears anymore. She walked up to the black employee and hugged him tightly. Her body shook as she cried. I prayed every night, she said. I begged God to save her. She pulled back and looked at him. And God sent you. The black employee's eyes filled with tears. No one had ever spoken to him like that. The little girl walked toward him. She smiled. Thank you, uncle, she said. You told me stories when I was scared. That was when the black employee broke down. He covered his face and cried. Not from pain, from relief, from love, from finally being seen. The father cleared his throat. There will be changes in this house, he announced. The staff looked at each other. This man is no longer just an employee, the father continued. He is family. Gasps filled the room. The black employee looked up in shock. I don't need money, he said quickly. The father smiled softly. This is not about money. Days passed. The girl returned to school. Her laughter filled the house again. The mother started a foundation in her daughter's name to help sick children who were ignored, children whose parents had no money. The father changed too. He listened more. He judged less. He learned that wisdom can come from anywhere. The black employee was promoted, but he stayed humble. He still helped others quietly, still smiled gently, still listened. One evening, the mother found him in the garden. She was crying softly. Why are you crying? He asked. She wiped her tears. Because I almost lost her, she said. And because I almost lost faith. He nodded. Sometimes, he said, miracles come dressed as ordinary people. She smiled through her tears. The camera pulls back. The little girl is playing in the garden, laughing, alive. A voice speaks softly in the background. Never judge a person by their job, their color, or their place in society. Sometimes the life-saving miracle you need is standing quietly beside you. And as the mother watches her daughter run free, tears fall again. But this time, they are tears of gratitude. True value is not money. True power is kindness. True miracles come from unexpected people.